If you're looking to improve your mechanics, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to be going over different methods to help you improve your mechanics so they can become faster and more consistent. I guarantee you this video will help you out, so make sure to watch till the end and let me know what you think in the comments. Consistency is really important when it comes to having good mechanics. Lots of people want to have the quickest builds and edits, but in order to achieve this, you need to have consistent builds and edits first. A method that Polarize uses that I talked about in a previous video is speed training. You can change your speed to be slower, so when you're free building and editing, you can practice consistency. Doing this for a couple minutes a day will help you to see improvement in your mechanics. The point of this method is for you to build slowly, so don't try to be fast and flashy unless you'll be practicing the wrong way. Free building is important because it allows you to practice and improve on your building skills without the pressure of being in an actual fight. You can experiment with different retakes and it'll overall help your mechanics. Another method to help improve your consistency is using edit courses. Edit courses will help you to improve your muscle memory, which will then lead to you getting faster mechanics. Something that most people don't realize is that speed isn't as important as people think. So many people focus on how fast they can edit that they don't take time to make sure they're consistently hitting their edits. Speed is essential, but it's equally crucial to maintain consistency. Once you build up your consistency, this is where you implement the speed aspect into your gameplay. You don't want to be flicking your mouse around while you edit because that would result in bad crosshair placement. But you also want to make sure to have control while consistently hitting edits fast. Having flashy mechanics doesn't mean that your mechanics are good. While having flashy mechanics looks impressive, it can sometimes be unnecessary or risky in certain situations. You need to think about risk versus reward. Flashy mechanics requires precise timing and execution. If you fail to perform them correctly, it can leave you open to being at a disadvantage while fighting. That's why it's overall safer to stick to consistent mechanics. Many players also focus too much on flashy mechanics, which distracts them from mastering the actual fundamentals of having good mechanics. Something huge that I've never really seen people talk about is mastering build placement. Build placement in Fortnite refers to the act of strategically placing your builds where you need them to go. Doing this the right way will help you to place your builds in the right location to give you the correct cover or help you take high ground. When it comes to build placement, there are a few factors to consider. First is speed and efficiency. The faster you can place structures, the better your chances are of defending yourself or gaining an advantage in your fights. Next is positioning. Placing builds in the right position can provide you with cover from your opponent or create opportunities to play aggressive. It's important to remember where you are in the map since there are some spots where you just can't place builds. And the last one is maintaining high ground. Being above your opponent allows you to have a better line of sight and control the fight in terms of who's going to play aggressive. Build placement is a fundamental aspect of Fortnite, and mastering this will help you to improve. Mastering how to peek will only help you mechanically, but it will also help you to win more fights. If you watch my previous video, you hear me talk about the importance of taking good peeks all the time. The reason I think this is such an important aspect is due to the advantage you get in fights when you take safe peeks. Anytime you make an edit, you want to make sure you're protected by your edit and you're holding a right hand peek. You can easily practice any peeks you want to learn in Raiders map with peek training. If you're a beginner, start off easy and work your way up. But if you're someone who's more advanced, try to challenge yourself by doing the harder difficulties. Piece control is an important aspect when it comes to finishing fights quickly and safely. Learning to master all the different aspects of piece control is really important. Different aspects of piece control that you might see pro players using are pre-piecing and protected piece control. Pre-piecing is when you predict your opponent and piece control their next move. It's all about the process of reading your opponent to figure out their next move and forcing them into your piece control. For example, in this clip, I see my opponent about to box out. So I take his cone and floor and then I double edit on it and get the kill. The next aspect of piece control is protected piece control. This is where you're able to full box your opponent without showing yourself at all. Most of the time, this is useful when you're piece controlling your opponent behind a wall that could be edited as a peanut butter or a window edit. Of course, there are other methods when it comes to piece control, but these are the two most important and the ones that come to mind when you think of how to piece control. I have about 20 different scenarios and I'm constantly making updates to the map, so make sure to check it out. The code will be in the description or you could type in Unreal Practice Map. Mouse control is the ability to move your mouse quickly and smoothly to the location you want it. Learning mouse control will help you to have more control over your sensitivity, which will then help you to have more consistent mechanics. If you want me to be honest, the best way to get mouse control is by playing the game a lot. If you put in a lot of hours into something, you will become good at it over time. But some other ways to help you get good mouse control is by aim training and adjusting your sensitivity to be lower if it's too high. Crosshair placement is another big thing when it comes to helping you have consistent mechanics. This is something that many people struggle with. Good crosshair placement is when you move your crosshair a minimal amount possible to edit your build. Bad crosshair placement is when you're moving your crosshair too much while editing your build. I just made an update to my map where you can practice your crosshair placement, and I'm going to be making tons of more drills to help you with crosshair placement. You can type in Unreal practice map like before, or you can use the code in the description.
Having good movement is essential for having good mechanics. Good movement will allow you to position yourself optimally for building and editing. You can find angles to get on your opponent without being exposed too. Good movement can also make it harder to be tracked by your opponent. Having good movement will also allow you to keep momentum while building, which will make it harder to fight you. Mastering movement is something that is really easy, and some good examples of people to watch who have good movement are clicks.
Now the biggest thing that everyone talks about is, should edit on release be on or off? There are pros and cons to having edit on release on and off. In my opinion, it's all your choice on which one you want, but I do want to list the pros and cons for you guys. The pros of having edit on release on are that you'll be able to edit quickly and be able to edit easier on high ping. But the cons to having edit on release on are not being able to keep good crosshair placement while doing certain edits like peanut butters. Some pros that have edit on release on are Cooper and Peterbot. Some pros that have it off are Polarized and Clicks. You can use these pros and cons to help you make your decision. I personally have it on since I play on high ping and find it easier to be mechanical with it on.
Finding optimal keybinds is something that is really important. When choosing optimal keybinds in Fortnite, it's important to find keybinds that feel comfortable for you and allow you to perform at a high level. You need to choose keybinds that are comfortable for your hands, and consider using keybinds that are within reach of your fingers without having to stretch out too far. Making sure to not have one finger do all the work is another important aspect of choosing optimal binds. You need to find keybinds that are comfortable for building and editing. Using your mouse buttons is something that helps out a lot. For me, I have two of my build binds on my mouse, and I also have my shotgun binded to my mouse wheel. Don't be afraid to experiment and customize your keybinds based on your personal preference. Something that works for someone else might not work for you, so don't copy all someone's keybinds just because they're good at the game. Remember, finding optimal binds may require some trial and error, so make sure to take your time to test out different keybinds and make adjustments when needed.
If you guys are looking for a way to consistently practice your mechanics, then I suggest using my map. There's tons of different piece control tunnels, even some with bots you can do edits on. Then I have a whole bunch of edit courses from easy to hard, and then some that are extreme. But doing these edit courses will help you to have more consistent edits if you're practicing often. My newest feature to the map that I talked about earlier is crosshair placement. There are 3 different practice scenarios that I made for you guys to learn crosshair placement. One with walls, one with stairs, and the last one has floors and cones. Let me know what you guys think of the map and make sure to implement this into your routine. If you're also looking to improve your aim, I do have some practice on the map, and I recently made a video on how to improve your aim, so make sure to check that out. Another way to consistently practice your mechanics is by doing 1v1 build fights. You need to kind of push yourself outside your comfort zone when it comes to doing certain retakes you want to do. This is where you should focus on applying consistent mechanics to your gameplay and not really care about the score. At the end of the day, it's just a 1v1 build fight and has no meaning unless you're putting money on the line. In order to actually achieve consistent mechanics while still being fast, you have to implement all of these methods while still practicing every day. Being mechanical is something that is really important when it comes to overall improving in Fortnite. You need to make a routine that works for you and consistently do it. If you guys did enjoy this video, then hitting that subscribe button is really appreciated. My next goal is to get to 10k subscribers. Also stay tuned because tournaments are going to start back up, so make sure to turn noties on.